Joining me now is Matt Stoller, Director of Research at the American Economic Liberties Project and author of the book Goliath, the 100-Year War Between Monopoly Power and Democracy. Matt, welcome to the show. It's good to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Matt, I'm trying really hard to make sure people understand this connection, that monopolies and corporate control and consolidation are all bad, but they're not just bad for the sake of being bad because your prices go up. They're bad because they do undermine and steal your democracy.
Yeah, very inspiring opening segment, and I agreed with everything in it. The point of Jimmy Kimmel being pushed off of the air, even temporarily, is that it's sending a message that the president can, through his alliances with the small number of corporations that run our economy, can punish you, right? So it's about arbitrary coercion. Now, if you had, say, 50 companies that were running the media back in 1983, and Jimmy Kimmel got pushed off the air of one of them, he would have 49 other companies to work for. But because there's just 5, right, the president can go through each one of those and dominate them. So in many ways, consolidation is necessary and is authoritarianism. So I think that's an incredibly important point. I would also note you're 100% right that the people pushed back and won, and that is democracy working. I would note that all of the examples of boycotts that you mentioned before concluded with political action. So they weren't just a boycott that led to, some sort of consumer change. They led to political and legal change. And that's what we have to have here, because the thing about consolidation is that in many ways, it's like leaving a loaded gun around for a political leader to use. Whether they use it or not, it's still there and everyone can see it. And there's a loaded gun right now, which Donald Trump can pick up at any point, and it's a consolidated media system.
It is important to note that loaded gun was there before Donald Trump and Brendan Carr got there. It is really important to note that politicians from all political parties let us get to where we are today, and it needs to stop.
100%. I mean, this has been going on since the 1980s, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And it's much worse than just 1983, 50 companies to 5, because that's talking about broadcast media. Newspapers, which are older than America, 2 out of 3,000 American counties today no longer have a daily newspaper because advertising revenue, which underpins speaking in America through commercial media, has been consolidated into the hands of basically 2 or 3 companies. Search, we have one company that controls search. Social media, 1 or 2 companies. Books, 1 company. Maybe you can squeeze Barnes & Nobles in there, but it's Amazon. You can see down the line, email, maps, online video, it's just one company. This is a very scary situation. So we can see Jimmy Kimmel, which is on broadcast media, but they could take away your email. They could take away your ability to use maps. They could disappear your business off of maps. There's so many ways they can use power because of this monopolized system. It really is a crisis, and it's something that it's amazing that the American people are waking up to and want to do something about.
You obviously live in this world where you understand consolidation. To most people who think about consolidation, mergers, antitrust, monopoly, oligarchy, it usually has to do with money. The cost of my cell phone service, the cost of of whatever it is I'm paying for, the cost of my groceries. It has morphed into it's your cost and it's your freedom. It's your democracy. It's the way your government runs. It's more than just what you pay for something.
Yeah, and not to understate the cost of living, because the ability to have property is one of the core freedoms put out in the Declaration of Independence. So as, these companies, these consolidated industries do take your property, even if it's just through a junk fee, that is a violation of your liberties. But yeah, they're also coercing your ability to even talk about your industry, and not just in media. I mean, people, I think a lot of your viewers will be familiar in their industry with, the one distributor or the one gatekeeper that controls them. And, we can go everything from cable news to pool supplies. I mean, it's crazy the amount of consolidation in our country now. And that's a relatively new thing. That's 30 to 40 years old. And it is very un-American. So, we have but it's also fixable. Like, we can do something about it.
Okay, talk to me about that. I've got about a minute left. What does fixable look like? This week we saw how you fixed this particular situation, but that was a symptom that was repaired. The system is still the same broken system.
Right. So I remember as a kid when, being gay was not okay. And then we made this radical transformation in our understanding of the world. And now, gay marriage, people are, yes, there's a little bit of right wingers whining about it, but it's just the law of the land and everyone is just fine with it. That kind of radical transformation happens without people even really realizing it. And it happens at moments like this when we say, you know what? Monopoly is wrong. And we need our lawmakers at a state, at a municipal level, at a federal level to actually take action and pass new laws or do investigations or bring cases. And that started happening in a really meaningful way. And we got to supersize it. So it's the fix is kind of here, but we got to lay out an agenda for after this administration so that when a different party takes power, there is an agenda right there to deconcentrate and democratize the economy.
Matt, great conversation. Thank you for being on the show. We hope you'll come back. Matt Stoller is the Director of Research at the American Economic Liberties Project and the author of Goliath, the 100-Year War Between Monopoly Power and Democracy.